Hello everybody, as I crack my knuckles in anticipation. Whew! Long time no talk. Your boy Jqilin here, back again with another episode of Katawa Shoujo. Well, I'm feeling good tonight, just got off a round of Mario Kart, kicking butt, taking names. Anyway, I hope you're ready for the continuation of this series, as I am. I've also started a new series on the channel about Wind Waker. It's titled Wind Waker Hypercut. I'm going to take all of the best parts of when I played Wind Waker and add in fun bits along the way. I think the first episode's already up and it came out pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. So I would highly appreciate it if you guys were to check it out and let me know what you think. Leave a like. It really means a lot to me because I put a lot of work into that first episode and I would really like to see what everyone really thought of it. So in any case, where we left off in Katawa Shoujo was, if I remember correctly, we're going down the Emi path and we had just started it. We were running down the track and we had another not heart attack, but like a heart palpitation, and we were escorted to the nurse's office to get some time to rest ourselves. And let's see what Hassan has to say. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. How do I? Oh, there we go. Alright. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I kind of feel groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looks at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Hisel. Oh. Fine. Climb down from that bed then, and let's see how you're doing. Don't. Ooh. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption on my arm. After a couple minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stopped spinning? Yeah. Good. And how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisel. I'm disappointed in you. I swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by someone else makes me want to protest. How dare you tell me something that I'm already aware of? What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. Boy, don't we know that feeling, Hisel. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so," or something, but he doesn't. I mean, it's not his job to be a jerk. It's his job to help people. I can try and help you keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I slip the piece of paper he's offering and then make my leave as I can't think of anything else to say. nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare. The next time could be different. I hear you. There is some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head toward the dorms. Don't do that, because then the bed's going to call your name like a siren, and then you're just going to go back to sleep, and then you're going to miss class. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was. Naturally, so since everyone is in class, I lightly knock on the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Well, I mean, you kind of did. Judging from the rambling lecture his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrow and gives me a kind of stern look but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. Moving on. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I haven't even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. I kind of like that when you get into the rhythm of things. Like when you first start school, you think it can be perfect and everything. But then as days go on, you're just like, I don't have to worry about taking notes or like anything like that. You just kind of just listen and take in what you need, forget what you don't need. I've been a lot like that myself, especially in high school, and especially during college as well. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Ugh, Nisha.
Games and fried food!
Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes. Thank you, Mikado. Whatever. The remainder of his sentence was buried beneath the bell of the school, the ring of the lunch bells, and everybody starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. Oh, bother. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally I join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today is different. Today I've been invited to lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. We're going to have lunch with a cute goyle, and it's going to be awesome. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway. My first tentative steps into a brand new world, only to be met by Emi, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Hey, hi Isao. Great timing. I have super extra lunch today as promised. Let's go upstairs.
The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. Interesting thing to point out. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Probably the same intrepid individual who's inviting you to lunch to go upstairs. If I had to guess. Emi shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Ooh. Suddenly a tall, dark stranger appears from nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emi flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. I wonder who this is. It really is. I'm tugging at my beard right now, just thinking about who this could possibly be. I don't know. I'm pretty lost as to who this is. Anyway. Yeet! Hello.
Yikes. You scared me, Rin.
Wait. Isn't she? Hello. It's our girl. Our girl Rin Tezuka. The girl who could spot any boy in the school just by looking at their tackle. How's it going, Rin? Long time no talk. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emi looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
Yeah. Helped with her painting, she talked about my tackle, you know how it goes, just stuff between friends. I look confused at Emi. I don't know where I got casually from. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze toward the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emi. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emi lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited himself for lunch. If you know him, that's just better.
Oh? Does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch?
Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking. Oh, Rin. Rin, you're something else, you know that? They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as in the other schools. Which is weird considering that it's open for everybody. I don't think more people will be up here. But maybe they don't know about it. Better for us, anyway. A few run-down benches and tables are scattered across the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. Shh. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere, a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. You could just reach out and firmly grasp it. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises, or metropoli, seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. Yeah, I know that feeling. Boy. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine. Looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only just one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. Hello, sunshine. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. Oh, I love cerulean. Beautiful shade of blue. Also a great town in Pokemon Red and Blue. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver and shake, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few short weeks ago. Emi settles on the bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag.
Come on, Hisao. What are you waiting for?
Oh, nothing, just prophesizing about the way life used to be. You know, when everything was simpler. She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench.
Come sit here, Hisao. If it's too small, I could just sit on your lap.
You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I sit myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Clearly, as I say it with these two right in front of my eyes, but I assume that's not what he's talking about. Emi suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin, and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go. Lunch, as promised.
Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Sick bars. Wow, this looks really good. A pretty girl who could cook? Your score is gradually going up, Emi. Gradually going up.
Thanks. I make it myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I said about the business of feeding myself. No. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth, only using her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. Well, I mean, shoot, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's a hard knock life when you have no arms. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. A place for people with special abilities. Will I ever get used to sights such as these? Yes, you will. You'll get used to anything over time. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. It wouldn't be bad. It's just a part of life. You just realize that everyone has things they have to deal with. And you find out the ways that they deal with them. And you'd be amazed at the strength that each of these people have to get over the obstacles in their life. And turn these negatives into positives. It's really a true testament to the inconquerable spirit that all humans manage to possess. Whether people realize that about themselves or not. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? No, you're just broadening your horizons, Hisao. Becoming a more well-rounded person. More mature. Or does it mean I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emi tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emi looked up, mouth half full and swallowing between nods. Yeah.
My morning runs always work up an appetite. Which is great because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, Emi. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I really choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. In case you're wondering, that was not me actually choking, but me emulating what Hisao would be doing in that moment.
It's a figure of speech. Gosh, Rin.
Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Oh, Rin with the witty comebacks, the witty quips. Do you always talk like this?
Sal, don't be a stick in the mud. Rin's just being cool. Talk like what?
Like what? I think that answers my question. There are two sides of the same coin. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet?
Rin seems content to let Emi answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to each other.
I get it, because one has no arms, one has no legs. They probably thought, wouldn't it be so funny if I did this? Compliment each other? Since the Sal can't figure out that 2 + 2 = 4.
Like shoes in a suit.
Yes, those do complement each other, Rin.
Huh?
Emi giggles at my confusion, because the Sal is being stupid right now.
Put us together, and we got all our limbs. Get it?
Ah.
Wow, whoever did that was a prick. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. That's true. Sure, because it didn't, Emi would have been like, figure it out on your own. See if you can get dressed without having any arms. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. No kidding. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Who would have guessed? Really? Kinda? Question mark? This isn't helping. But at least Emi seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes you feel slightly better, and yet confused. Because Rin's like, how did you know I had trouble with shirts? And she's like, it's not just because I have no arms. It's hard finding shirts that fit me, you know? I mean, look at me. I mean, you got no arms. Like the Nintendo Switch game. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be, difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up before I stick my foot in my mouth any deeper than it already is. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emi, you're becoming wifey material right now. You're already cute, and you can cook, and you're interested in keeping a girlish figure. Oh, man. Emi finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice. I didn't know I was a man in my 60s with kidney problems. One to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with a pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch to herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of the box and begins to drink. Glug, 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 glug. Once again, I'm impressed with how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. I'm not sticking my foot any deeper down my throat than it already is. Somehow I don't think either Emi or Rin are the sort of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Actually, no, she doesn't. She's more readily able to laugh about it than to be conflicted. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not it's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. Don't think about it too hard, buddy. Just move on.
So, Hisao, how do you like it up here?
The roof or the school? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places. For the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. It was really quite good. Everything's been good. Emi grins a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay?
Oh, this was just a one-time thing? Wow, here I thought you were just paying me back for, nearly killing me. But I guess you just like my company.
I won't make a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Kinda giving me a lack of incentives here. Emi looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve.
Right. Good nature. I mean, you did almost kill me not that long ago. I did get a heart attack because, well, not a heart attack. A heart scare not that long ago because of you. But, anyway, she giggles.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I would just eat lunch all alone. All by ourselves. Poor us. We're so sad, Hisao.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rendering puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emi pouts. Oh gosh darn your cuteness. It is my kryptonite. I was kidding. Please don't cry, my queen. Love to eat lunch up here with you again, my goddess. I can't. A good location, and the company's okay too. Emi frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I have accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. It's a good start. The lunch bell rings, signaling the return downstairs.
Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again.
I wasn't that hungry, but I was thirsty.
If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
Oh, that reminds me of a Dave Matthews Band song. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk.
Whatever. I'll just become one with the clouds.
Come on, we better get going. The three of us head back down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there's about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident for the almost total silence enveloping the room. I was trying to say enveloping and then enveloping, and the two kind of got mashed together. Yeesh. As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slots in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they made as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry, Yuko. Didn't mean to startle you.
No, that's okay. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading as much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. There are worse habits you could have to break this out. Believe you me. I wander down to the fiction section toward the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. Almost as thick as she is. I decide against intruding on her like last time, and get back to finding reading material. Yeah, we don't want her running away again. That was just sad. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. You know what that's like? It's like when you're on Netflix or even just on the guide on your TV, and you spend more time finding something to watch than you do actually watching the thing you found to watch. Isn't that one of the most irritating things that's ever happened to you? Especially it's become more apparent now since everyone's been stuck inside during the crown flu epidemic, which I hope everybody's staying safe, by the way. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Yeah, they're done for the day, boy. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room and read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I've never actually read the original book. Neither have I, and apparently there's way more stuff in the book than they've ever had, like in movie adaptations and stuff like that. So if I ever get the chance to read the work by Lewis Carroll, I definitely would. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and nonsense plot. I started thinking of myself as some kind of Alice too, haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into this cripple wonderland. Dang, Kasao, you pull no punches, man. Okay, that's a rather strong expression. Still, the isolated location, the overt way the school accommodates the absolutely everything is unsettling. It's like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me. Well, it's been a few weeks now since you've been there? I guess we're still going through an adjustment period. It hasn't really fully sunken in that one, everyone else is just like you, and two, hasn't fully sunken in that the rest of your life is going to be like this. That you're not going to be just a regular high school boy anymore, you're a high school boy with a heart problem. So it's still all in the adjustment phase. Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Iwanako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. The idea of being in a committed relationship. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep. There we go, into another world. Oh, that was an eventful day, I would say. But it looks like things are going A-okay. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sprying their tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. The joys of pulling an all-nighter and then going to school. Sometimes you can make it through the day. Sometimes you feel like death. And heaven forbid you find the opportunity to go to sleep after pulling an all-nighter, because then you just clock out and then you don't wake up. It happened to me way too many times where I would pull an all-nighter, fall asleep, then wake up the next day. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the classroom is going to call him out on it. I mean, you're going to call out your teacher who looks like death, may or may not have gotten drunk, and he's not going to give you, like, too much trouble? I mean, shoot. I don't know anybody would call him out on it, especially if they're going to risk getting in trouble for it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partially be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing student council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present, and her high-pitched, whiny nonsense. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up, quote-unquote, for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha, but not in that way, that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure. Well, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Uh-oh. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so that's about that. Well, kinda, but it's not anything to get worried about. Wrong answer. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Muto closed his eyes in frustration, and I realized that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and each and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. How dare you? I'm not quite sure if this is how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing, quote unquote. Either way, it's definitely working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Trust me. Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you funding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Oh, right. Wouldn't want that to happen. Yes, you understand. So many people don't know what it's like. No, you wouldn't. Every week, there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. Trademark. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over. He's going back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think, in hindsight, that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. You know, he seems so scatterbrained just because he's thinking about a lot of things. That's usually how most, science type people are. Their brains work non-stop. So it's hard for them to kind of focus. Because they have so many thoughts and ideas. And then try to focus them out as they express them to other people. But it's always hard to convey exactly what's going on in your head because it makes sense to you and you want it to make sense to other people. Well then, I think that's all I really have to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? I believe that suggestion is insurmountable. Yes, sir. Sure. You're the boss, right? Oh. I'm the boss? No one's ever said that to me before. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I considered replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jumped at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they were working on the questions on the board. They're all trying to listen into the hall. What's he saying? I don't know. But he may be using trouble. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto doesn't even know this thing. Or if he did, he probably doesn't even care. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here has either waited for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers to those problems by Monday. Aww. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware that more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink of an eye as everybody rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly focus on quickly finish the questions, so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business. I naturally don't ask for it. I actually don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that, or anything else either. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish her paragraph. The sound of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom, even though we're the only two people left in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eye firmly away from my direction. She's trying to avoid me at all costs. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. And I think we're gonna end it here before we get to what Lily has to say. So, I want to thank you all for watching. It's good to be back in the saddle of Katawa Shoujo. Love the series, and I love having you all here for the ride with me. So be sure to like the video, leave a comment. It helps out a lot, and I really love to hear your thoughts on how the series is going so far, and anything else you guys want to say. And stay tuned for future updates and future episodes. It's your boy Jqilin. Ciao for now.